So today we have something to unbox, but before I come to it, you can see I'm in a new studio. This is what I've been working on. Still not done. You can see the lighting is not yet good. I'm still expecting some lights to come in the delivery. Should have come today and I should have had a better recording, but okay, did not arrive. In the next few days we expect better lighting and I should have better videos. And then we're still making this up. I just finished installing the panel, the bookshelf, and a couple of things to unbox, so I couldn't wait. But we're going to go on a journey. It was just Prime Day a few days ago, so I did a lot of ordering of tech stuff, and I'm going to unbox and go on a journey with you guys. Thank you for being there. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. This is Simplified. We don't do too much tech details. We just talk about tech we love and tech we think you would love and why you should love it or why you should not love it. So if you're new here, you're welcome. Today I want to talk about my first look at a NAS, a network attached storage. So this is a box that just came in. This NAS is from UGREEN. I'm just going to go to the spec sheet here. It's the UGREEN NAS DXP2800. It's a 2-bay NAS, meaning that it's got slot for 2 hard drives, but it also has slot for 2 SSDs, so it can be 4 drives actually. In a total, you can spec this up to 76 terabytes. So what's a NAS? I'm not going to go into the tech details, but basically this is storage for your home, for your small business that is on the network. Okay, so you can access it anywhere you are because it's on the network. You can write to it, you can read from it, you can copy it, like the backup of all the computers in your home or in your family or in your little business, your organization. That's the whole concept of a NAS. This is from UGREEN, and the storage drive are, let me just open, they're from Seagate. There's the Seagate Iron Wolf Pro. They are 8 terabytes enterprise grade storage. They are for NAS system like this, 7,200 RPM speed, RAID supporting, and I'm going to talk about RAID a bit without going into details, of course. 256 megabytes of cache. And I'll put the link if you want to get these or if you want to know more about the spec of these. We're not going to talk about all the spec too much, but we're going to unbox this in this video, and I'm going to set it up offline. There's no need for you to see all that. It's a simple process. It's going to come with a manual. You can guide yourself, and there are videos on YouTube of how to set it up. It's not complicated. If you use a computer, you should be able to set this up. Then I'm going to make another video after I set it up and I use it for a while to tell you my experience with it, first experience after the first few days or weeks of using it, how it's going and what I think so far. So if you are contemplating getting a NAS, if you're a newbie like me into this whole NAS thing, you're in the right place. We're going to go on this journey together. So let's just unbox it. So we have this box. It says accessories. Yeah, so we're going to come back to that, and then we get this out, and I think this is the NAS. Let's put all these aside. Sorry, I'm making a clutter. Are these just documents? Because they're big. Manual and warranty card. It's heavy. It's a big manual. Very professional looking manual, like a textbook. Okay, no problem. We're going to come back to that. And that is that in the box. So I'm just building a heat there. Don't mind that. Let's go into the star of the show. Okay, so this is the NAS. First, you have this mesh. We need to take this off. It's called a magnetic dust mesh filter. So basically, it's a magnet. It stays there, just like that. And you can take it off and clean it just to prevent dust from going into the fan. On the back here, it's got the LAN port, which I think it's a 2.5 gig equivalent. I have a 1 gigabyte internet in my house, so we'll see how that goes. 2 USB ports, so this can also serve you like you are getting a docking station here. You can plug directly into it and write to it. It's got one fast USB here. I think this is Gen 3 definitely. HDMI port, This is the power, I think. And here in front, the power knob, the indicator light for when you for the LAN, the disk 1 and the disk 2, the USB-C, and another USB 3.2 here. So effectively we have two USB 3.2, and I think it's a USB 2. I think this is what you do to remove it. You press this button, and this is the disk holder where you can insert the disk, 2 of them. And yes, in here you have the slots, 2 slots there. Let's get this out. So I don't know if you can see it, but there are 2 slots in there with the blue marking, and those are for the SSDs. I'm not using that for now, but we'll see how I can expand to that as we go. They are well labeled, disk 2 and disk 1, and it should have a key somewhere that you should be able to use to operate this. Maybe it's in this accessory box. So let's go to the accessory box and see what we have. So what do we have here? First of all, yep, this is the LAN cable. Okay. What do we have here? Screwdriver. Okay. Power cord. This should be the power brick. Yep, power brick. So power and some screws. I'll figure what these are for. I think there should be a key somewhere. I don't see it. Aha, there it is. This is the key. So this should be to lock. Okay, there's a spare one, so there are 2. This should be to just lock so that you cannot open it. So if you finish installing your disk, you should lock it to avoid somebody just pulling it off. So this, I'm going to set it up, is going to be sitting somewhere here in the studio. I would think somewhere here. I'll find a place for it, connect it to my Wi-Fi mesh directly using the cable, and I will do well to read the manual, promise, and not find a shortcut. But okay, let's get all this out. So now we come to the hard drives. I got 2 of them. They are the Pro ones. I don't know what's the advantage of having the Pro, but if something says Pro, I think I'm getting it. So these are the Seagate Iron Wolf Pro 8TB enterprise hard drives for internal NAS, and all the other spec, which we're not interested in just now. Again, manuals. Let's separate the manuals, and I think this will just be the drive. Very heavy also. Oh, really heavy. So the 8TB drive, I need to handle drives with care from my experience back in the days. I've not had hard drives for a long time now. I mean, we've been using SSD drives. I've not had a drive that has a rotating disk in it. So from my experience back in the days, you have to handle these with care to avoid damage. They're very fragile. So let's call this our disk 1, and let's see if we can install it quickly. Which way does it go? I think this is the read part, and it should be in here because that's the read from inside. So I think it should go there. I think from the videos I watch, you have to pull something out. Yes, press this and expand it. See? So you can expand it like that. Okay, so that now you should be able to install like this and close it back, and it should lock. Let's try it. Yep, there we go. First install of the hard drive in the NAS. So basically, this is how we install the SSD in the NAS. At the end of the day, I think you're just going to power it up. Well, read the manual a bit. You're supposed to download the app on. I use a Windows machine, and I think you also has a mobile app because you should be able to back up even your data on your phone into the NAS. Now I do YouTube, of course. I have a lot of video files. I have a 2 terabyte SSD that I keep my video files, and another 2 terabytes in my computer, and everything is about full now. So I was about to buy a 4 terabyte extra backup SSD, and I thought, why not just have a NAS and try this? Because the NAS, I can access it from everywhere. The drive, I can only access it where it is. So this should be fun. We shall see. There is our NAS. I'll set them up, go through the manual, install the app, learn how to set up the RAID. Okay, I was going to talk about RAID. So the RAID is basically the way you set up the behavior of the storage. So that, for example, I have 2 drives, and I'm going to set up a RAID 1, which means I use 1 disk as my main disk and the second disk as a mirror disk for this. So I'm basically using half the capacity. This is 8 and 8, which is 16 terabytes, but I can only store 8 terabytes of data. And every time I save file on it, it should back up on the 2. If I have like a NAS with 4 bay, which has 4 disks, I can have the same, which means 2 disks is the capacity and the other 2 is the backup of the backup, if you get what I mean. But you can also set it as a NAS 2 or a RAID 2 or a RAID 3, which means, for example, for a RAID 2 that I can decide to save in 3 disks and use 1 disk as a floating backup. Okay, so it uses software to be able to ensure that if any of those 3 disks fails, the data in those disks is being recovered from that 1 disk that is the backup. So it's a bit complicated, but the simple explanation is you choose the RAID you want, and it ensures a backup of a backup for you. If you want 100% backup, you put a RAID 1 where everything you have on 1 disk is on the other disk, or on 2 disks on the other 2 disks if there are 4, or you can do 3 to 1, or you can do 4 to 1, things like that. This different RAID, and you can select that in the software when you install it and you set it up. So I'm going to do all that offline, and I'm going to do another video to explain my learning curve in it, what I found out, how it works for me, and do I think it's good or not. From all the videos I've watched, all the things I've read, I think it's a necessary next step for me in terms of having backup that is safe, secure, and accessible from anywhere I am. And yeah, that's why I got it. So in terms of price, this NAS from UGREEN, this is the 2-bay NAS. It is the DXP2800. It goes for about 360 euros. I think it's same thing for dollars, just between 300 and 400. There's the 4-bay NAS, which I was going to get, but I thought, let me start with this. That goes for around 550 euros currently, and the equivalent in dollars in the US. Typically, it's cheaper in the US. But whichever case, I decided to go this way. So I'm just looking at the NAS, the 4-bay NAS from UGREEN on Amazon US. It's just about 600. It's supposed to be $700. There's a 15% discount currently, and it's about $594.99 for the 4-bay NAS. The 2-bay is at $279 because it has a 20% discount, and it typically goes for $350. That is where I'm going to stop this video. The few other things here. This is the Honor Magic Pad 2. So I use the V3, the Honor Magic V3. I think is the best phone in the world. And the V5 just came out. I think it's also the best phone in the world now. And I'm going to tell you why I think that in another video. And you can disagree, but I'm going to tell you why I think it's the best phone in the world, this phone. But okay, that's what I've been using for the last 1 year about. And I like it. So thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, please do ding the notification bell so you get to know when we have new videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.